Happy Bag Talk Thursday, y'all. Let me pin this. Oh my God, what a ride. We are 13 episodes in. This is crazy. I think after this month though, I'm going to take a break for like a month or two to get my life together. And I'll probably come back around July. More guests, more gems will be dropped because I have like a couple of things I'm trying to work on to make the platform much bigger. So that's the only updates I have. And I actually look decent today. I threw on a wig, curl my hair, because usually I just throw on a hat and nothing else. But I wanted to put some effort in today. Exactly, it's giving very much season 2. Season 2. Thank you. This is my little in the house look. This is the Zoom look from the neck up. Well, not the neck, the waist up. Let me send this to my guest so he knows that we are ready. I won't be going live on April 20th because that's my birthday and I'll be in Costa Rica. So she managed to look better time for anyway. Oh, thank you. I'll be lying. I'll be looking crazy. The goal is just to get the content out there. So I'll really just be like, let me just at least show up. I'll be showing as my best self. I'll be showing up. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so April 20th I won't be going live because that's my birthday. So we'll only have 3 episodes this month, today, next week, and the week after I come back. And then we're gonna take our little break. And my guest is here. Let me send the request. People. Y'all really about to make me blush. Hi, what is this?
What up, though?
Why I always forget you have an accent?
I don't have an
Yes,
accent.
you do. Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So let's just get started. If you can just tell us, well, tell the people who are tuning in and the people who will watch this on YouTube, who you are and why you're the GOAT.
I didn't know that that's what I was.
Why everybody do this when I say they the GOAT? They be...
I'm just Mark Byrd. You called me in the middle of a session, so it might be people walking in and out.
That's fine.
Mark Byrd, producer, songwriter from Chicago, Illinois. I have a few credits under my belt.
Mm-hmm.
I got
Talk your shit.
name those. Okay. Credits include Kanye West, Dr. Dre, Saha the Prince, Rhapsody, Big Crit, some other folks, Jeremiah, that's one of the homies, and some other people. Yeah.
Basically, you be out there. That's what that sounds like.
I go outside a little bit.
So how did you get started in the music industry?
Man, it's such a long question, but my uncle was a producer and an artist, so I was around him, but of course I didn't take it serious. I was like 7, 8.
Mm-hmm.
How it really happened was just being outside, being always into music, rapping with the homies, learning how to produce, teaching myself how to do that shit. And then one day we made a song, I produced the record. We was like, all right, this works. And then it was just like in and out, dabbling with it here and there. And one day I had a song I wanted to feature on it. The artist did the feature and then wanted to keep the record. So then at that point I was just like, all right, cool, I don't want to be an artist no more. Y'all can have all these beats. I just kept producing from that point.
So that's the only inspiration you had for it? Because I know there's a long version to this.
There's a really long version to it, but movies, watching movies always made me like want to create music, score movies, the cinematics of it all. So it's just like that was an influence, but mainly it was my uncle being a producer. So seeing it firsthand, I'm like, oh, okay, I want to do that. I want to press buttons. Because he would always bring drum machines and keyboards to the crib. So I'm like, okay.
So what's your creative process? Like, how do you approach working with different artists to bring the best out of them?
Honestly, being a fan of the artist first. I don't typically like to work with people I'm not a fan of, because if I'm not a fan, then that means I don't really believe in it. So I'm not going to put my all in it.
Oh wow.
So
Have you turned people down because of that?
yeah, yes, I have. Yeah.
What is that
Everything
song?
ain't meant to
Just
be
like
made.
not.
Like if it doesn't make sense, it don't make sense. You know, especially in the creative world, you can't fake that energy.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's something I'm not going to put 100% in it, and you'll know it because you'll hear what I do with other people. Then you hear your stuff and be like, my stuff don't sound like that. You don't quite rap like that. So, but
How do you approach working with an artist that? Well, you said you have to like their music. What if you like their music, but they're not like super talented? Has that ever happened?
yeah.
So how do you? What do you just like
If I
motivate
like
them, or you
your
be on them?
music and I like you as a person, then yeah, we can do it. That's when you put on your producer hat and coach them up to be a better artist.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like that's the number one thing for me is conviction. Do I believe you?
Mm-hmm.
If I believe you, then we can go to it. You know what I'm saying? So that's my process starts there. Like
Mm-hmm.
once I'm a fan and I know what it is that you do, now I'm in my mind, I'm like, how do I take you from where you are, keep your core base, but get you new people?
Mm-hmm.
How do I expand your sound? So that's my whole approach. Like it's trying to get you a record that's familiar to you, but something that's so grand that when other people hear it, it's like no way to turn away from it.
Do
So
you think that's what sets you apart from other producers? That approach?
yes, and the fact that I actually care about the song.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see the whole process through. Like if I can sit in while the song is being mixed, I want to be there. Everything the whole way through because I feel like taking that vision and seeing it all the way out. That's the best way to produce a record.
What is the biggest misconception of being a producer?
That we all outside
I know I be thinking that.
doing God knows what.
I'm gonna say I'm ignorant to the fact that I be believing like producers don't have like struggles. I always think that once you get on, listen, hear me out. I usually think that once you're on someone's album, so like once you work with Kanye, that's it. You about to never hit rock bottom. You always gonna be constantly working. That's something I always thought. Like once you get that one big artist, it's just like up from there.
The industry is just finicky as it is. It's up and down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at how fast it takes and like how fast an artist can be forgotten about. Mm-hmm. So if this is a person that's in the forefront that gets forgotten about 3 months later, imagine what it's like for us that people that don't know who we are. Don't care about it. Like, go about your business, bro. Nah, it's up and down. And then with the business of it all, you just never know how it goes. Like, prime example, I'll just use this as an example. Let's talk about the Usher Confessions album. You think about all of the people that worked on that album, and you're like, this is one of the greatest albums ever. And you're thinking like, okay, this person did Confessions. They're good. But because of the litigation and somebody didn't want to approve their percentages, nobody got paid for that album for like 8 years.
Really?
All it takes is one person's signature to be withheld and you don't get paid.
So, okay, let's switch to the business side of things. As a producer, how are you protecting your beats and your music and making sure you get paid?
Copyright your stuff. Have lawyers. You definitely need a business, LLC. You know what I'm saying?
Starting out, you think someone should get a lawyer? Like, because that's money, right?
Especially when you're doing contract, yeah. But you got lawyers that'll work and they won't get paid until the contract is vetted. Because you don't want to, let's just say you just starting out and you get a placement with somebody on a major label and they hit you with, they be like, all right, we're going to give you 1% royalty rate when your royalty rate should be 4%. They're going to be like, all right, we'll give you 5% on the publishing, or they might even work for hire you. Mm-hmm. Now you're just getting paid for your hours versus getting your publishing, which is your forever money, making sure that that's straight. It's so much other stuff that, yeah, you need lawyers to vet these contracts. So that's like one of the most important things ever is like having your legal aspect intact. Like, I don't play no games when it comes to that.
You're getting paid. I know you're getting paid, like the residuals be from your royalties, but like you sell beats also. Like you'll sell your beats to other producers?
I lease them to artists and record labels. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you get your upfront fee and you get your publishing, your publishing, which is your royalty rates, and you know, you also get royalties on everything else from like streams, performances. If the song gets synced in video games, movies, TV, it's all kind of ways to get paid from it.
So how do you get your beats? Do they reach out to you, or are you the one reaching out to them?
A little bit of both. You gotta do the leg work. You gotta hustle. You know what I'm saying? Just like it's like any other hustle. When you want to do something, you gotta go where it is, and you gotta be on the front line. So yeah, like I've taken flights just to be where artists are gonna be. Like, all right, I know everybody's gonna be here. I want to just go there.
So what
Somebody
is
I know is gonna be good.
Footwork like? Like someone's watching this, they're like, I want to be a producer. What's the look like for them right now in this climate?
The first question I'm gonna ask you is, are you crazy enough to do this? Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing every day, expecting different results.
Really?
You gotta be insane. Yes, because it's like you have to. But honestly, producers nowadays have such a leg up with social media. Like when I started, we didn't have social media, so not to this degree. So let's just say I wanted to, great example, I wanted to meet this guy that was affiliated with Dr. Dre. And this is back in like 2006, 2007. I can't get on social media and DM this guy. I had to fly to LA to a conference that he was going to be at and try to get close enough.
I didn't even know he was going to be there without social media.
Because like ASCAP. It was an ASCAP conference, so you see the lineup. We know who this person is. I've been watching this guy's video. Bet we about to fly this flight, and we fly to LA. We're out there for 4 or 5 days, and we're trying to get close to this guy.
And do you like say, "Hey, my name is Mark. These are my beats"? Like
you try anything that works.
Like like some industries, they have like their elevator pitch, or you have your pitch deck. You have
ain't no pitch.
What does the producer have?
There's no pitch. Anything works. You might see this man at the bar and be like, "Bro, let me get that for you." You might see a producer at a sneaker store. You be like, or an artist at a sneaker store. Like, yo, let me buy them Air Force Ones for you. By the way, I'm such and such. It's no real pitch. You just have to do what you have to do to get there. You cannot cheat the grind.
I see a lot of people trying to. Like, I know so many people who complain as a producer or a songwriter, I'm struggling, but I never see them outside. I never see them go nowhere. They just in their house. And I'm like, well, no one's gonna know who you are because you're not even trying to network.
You still got to do the legwork. You can't cheat the grind. That's one thing for sure.
I agree.
You have to do the legwork.
So, being someone that's worked with different artists across different genres, how do you, adapt your approach to fit each one's unique vision?
Be a listener. You have to listen to what people want. That's why I stress being in the room with artists, because you can send the right record on the wrong day. You have to
explain that.
Explain that. Like, all right, let's just say I got this record. 9 times out of 10, this record would be a perfect record for JiJi, and I send it. But this particular day, he's not feeling like the typical JiJi. He wants to go over here. I just sent the right record on the wrong day. That's why it's important to actually be in with the artist and talk to them and develop that bond, so they're going to tell you everything. They'll tell you everything that they're trying to do in a conversation. My artist is in here right now. Everything that we do, all of the songs that we create, we'll sit in here and we might talk for like 4 or 5 hours. And when he leaves, I know exactly what to do. Or I'll be like, yo, let's talk about this. Remember that conversation? Here's the record.
You develop like a personal relationship with all your artists too, I believe.
Yeah, you got to. It's important. Or, you got to know what they want. That's why I say it's important to listen. Like, pay attention. They might not even, you might be giving them what they're used to, and they might want to pivot. You got to hear what they're doing. And like, oh, okay. Then you also got to be smart enough to be the producer and see the vision. Be like, oh, okay, I hear you here. But trust me, if you go over here, it's going to be a little different, and it's going to work. And it works a lot of times.
What are some mistakes you made in the beginning that you wish you kind of known back then?
I didn't have a lawyer. I didn't know them.
Did you miss out on a lot of money because of that? Yeah.
My first placement, man, it was a lot that we did wrong, me and my crew at that time. And ultimately, we were smart, but not as smart as we should have been. We didn't sign the contract, but one of my other homies did, so we were working through him, which was a smart thing to do because it kept us from being tied to one separate entity, to one particular entity. But what ended up happening is we didn't have lawyers and we didn't look over the contract. So when he signed to that person, he didn't realize that he was signing a work for hire. So when we got the check for 3 records, it's like niggas get like $100 each because it was a work for hire. So there was no percentages, none of that. Like the royalties, the publishing did all of that wrong because he didn't do the contract right.
Damn.
That was the first one. Now ask me how many times have that happened since the first one?
How many times has
Never.
that happened since the first one?
You learn your lesson.
How long ago was that? I don't want to put your age out there or nothing.
Like, 2008.
Dang, 2008. I was in middle school.
Yeah, I was outside then.
You've been in the game for a very long time. So what is like your biggest career achievement so far and your lowest? And what are the lessons you learned from there outside of the lawyer thing?
I don't know if I can even label it. Well, I mean, if you're looking at it from a point of metrics, I'll say the Kanye thing, because that was indeed my first platinum record, my first gold record, my first Grammy nomination, my first Billboard #1. So and if you're looking at like that, then yeah, the Kanye thing is top tier. But do I put moments above that? Yes.
So what moments?
Yes, I do.
Would those be?
Building with my artists, I put that above that. Meeting and working with Dr. Dre, I placed that above that. Just the journey itself is bigger than that one moment. So you know, that's that. My lowest point, there's a lot of low points. I mean, you do this record and then you go and you buy this album and your name is in the album and it's like, yes, we're finally there. And you get your check and it's like, all right, you got $100 each. We're not there. We're nowhere close. That, or even just going through this journey, people don't realize like the hardships that come with it. Like you lose everything. The time and the effort that we have to put into this. I've lost time with my friends, my family. I've lost friends and family and everything, you know, just having so much dedication to this, because this one thing is, for a lot of us, we're the first of our generations or the first in our family's lineage that can make a legal $1 million. So you're looking at that and you're like, yo, I got to do this and secure things for my people. So you're putting in all of this time and this effort, but then when you look up, you're like, damn, I still have so far to go. But then when you look back, you've missed so much, so many moments. And you be like, man, why am I putting myself through this? So yeah,
is that how you stay motivated?
Huh?
Is that how you stay motivated when you have those thoughts?
Sometimes, but not really. The motivation really comes from like the people that just love what you do. And the simple fact of me being able to say, is my life the greatest life? No. Is it better than everybody else's life? No. But what I do enjoy about my life is the freedom. Freedom of it all. Like, I can sit here in this studio, all of this nice equipment. I go to my spot at night. I get in my car. I do whatever I want to do. If we sit in here and we decide to grab food, cool, we do that. We do all of this stuff. And then you sit back and you think, I did all of this doing something I would do if I wasn't getting paid for it. I have nothing to complain about.
What kind of, I guess, I don't want to say education, but what kind of studying or I guess skill building have you done to be a producer? Because I know some people who like go to music school and stuff. Like, is that even necessary?
I ain't do nothing. I've never read a manual on studio equipment.
I know you say things like it's God's plan or God's.
Everybody got a gift.
Yeah.
Everybody has a gift. Nobody is here to be ordinary. We're all here to be extraordinary, but you just have to tap in and see what it is that your gift is.
Mm-hmm.
And 9 times out of 10, you're going to be, all of us are blessed with something. A lot of us just don't take the time to figure out what that something is. I've never, no training. I just picked this stuff up and just ran with it. Like legit ran with it. And I learn every day. I'm learning stuff every single day. I study now, but I don't study music notes and all of that stuff. I actually study patterns and people and the greats. And
you know how to read music?
No.
Wow. I would think that's something you would know how to do.
No. I just know what it sounds like.
You just know what the hell you're doing.
I like half the time I don't even know. I don't know how it works. It just works.
You have a unique style to your music too. Like when I join your live or when I hear like you just samples, you have like a distinct sound where now I'm like, oh, that sounds like, I think I sent you something one time. I was like, why does this sound like you? And you was like, oh yeah, that's something I worked on.
Yeah.
So where does that come from? That kind of foundation of your sound?
Honestly, it's like upbringing. Like I was saying, movies is a huge inspiration. Horror movies in specific.
Really?
So I was a huge horror movie. I'm a huge horror movie fan. So the score of horror movies always like intrigued me to the point I'd be watching the horror movies and I'd be like, it's not gonna happen right now. I can tell by how the strings are swelling. It not right now. Okay, now it's gonna happen. So being able to do that and then being a movie person, like watching all of these cinematic features. So it's like cinematography, scoring. Chicago itself, we always get associated with soul. But Chicago is a very much, I wouldn't even say soulful, it's an emotional city. When you listen to any artist from Chicago, they evoke some type of emotion.
It's a lot of depth too.
Yeah, so it's like having that emotion plus the horror thing plus me being a movie fanatic, so I like all of this super big cinematography and like I like theatrical sound and stuff. So like you take all of that and then it's like, all right, figure it out. And that's where the sound comes from. That's why like with everything that I just described, if you listen to any one of my records, you'll be able to hear something of what I just said in it. So that's where it comes from.
Do you think you'll ever take a step back from producing?
Yeah.
Like what else would you focus on? Would it be in the entertainment or would it be like something else?
I have a few different visions of things, but no, I probably will pivot completely away from entertainment.
Into what? You want to share?
What my man Ron say is deeper than rap.
It's a secret?
Nah, it's not a secret. Everybody that knows me knows. You just log onto my page. I'm a very spiritual individual.
Yeah, that's why I want you to, because this is going on YouTube. A lot of people don't know
that's where you know the pivot is. It's like, you know, going into a deeper thing with my spirituality, being able to help people in that realm. Like, it's no coincidence that I've been through the things that I've been through. Music is just a vehicle. I'm put in this space because it's like the people that need the most help tapping into that thing is here. Music is full of a lot of lost people, and a lot of us create because this is our way of dealing with our emotion. So that's why, like, when you realize your purpose, it makes sense of your gifts. I realized that is my purpose, so that's why I have the gift of producing. I was a great artist when I was an artist, but I'm a better producer because of my purpose. My purpose allows me to coach people and help people get their emotions out and also see things in themselves. That's what my purpose is. That's why I'm a good producer, because I'm helping people get to a space that they wanted to get to or needed to get to and probably didn't know that they needed to.
Right.
So the pivot is definitely in a more spiritual based space.
The reason why I said that because I think a lot of people who I've interviewed, because I'm really picky about the people I want on this platform to have, the goal is to help people. Most of them have that kind of thought process where they're not just passionate about what they're doing, but they feel like they have a bigger, like there's a bigger plan for them, which is why they're in that specific space. And I think a lot of people, because I think a lot of people now are like starting to like, I don't want to say turn their back, but have like second thoughts about the music industry. And people don't understand there are still people in the industry who are legit genuine. Like everybody is not out here trying to rob people. It's just up to you to find those people.
No, you find your tribe and you stick to them. Mm-hmm. That's why it's like, it's not a lot of, you know, you'll see the genuine ones, and then you'll see who the genuine ones are affiliated with, and it's typically the same circle of friends. Mm-hmm. And then you'll see the other people, and you see who they're affiliated with, and it's typically everybody else. Mm-hmm. I just stick to the genuine people.
You're like, I feel like you are, the reason why I say you're the GOAT, but you really do stay out the way. Like, you do your music and that's it. I don't see you in the club popping bottles. I don't see you. And then you so humble about it. Like, I call you the GOAT and you like, huh? Like, yes, you are. I'm just me. I just love to create. I love what I've been blessed to do. I love the gift that I have. I love my purpose. I don't take it for granted. So why would I be boastful about it? There's no need. That's true. Let the music and the work speak for itself. I'm cool. Who's the best artist you worked with so far? This man sitting on the couch. Who's that? Tell him to come on camera. Higgins. Best artist I've ever worked with, hands down. He is rap. Like, rap.
Don't let them pump y'all up too much now. Don't let them pump y'all up too much. How you doing?
Hi. Share yourself for the people. Yeah. Share your own platforms, your name. You got a new song dropping?
We got a lot of stuff dropping.
Man, we got a lot of stuff going. Instagram, Dante Higgins. That's DanteHiggins. Google Dante Higgins. Pretty much just
everything.
Google, YouTube, everything is my name. It's easy for you to find me, Dante Higgins.
Yeah, I'm gonna type his name in the comments so people can do what they do.
Yeah. ANTEHIGGINS. Yeah.
Hands down, the best artist I've ever worked with.
Why? And don't say that just because he's there.
It just works. The vision is, we have a very similar vision. It's not hard when we work together. It's, I 100% trust him. He 100% trusts me. Like, I want to say we've only had one disagreement out of, 5 years of working together? We've only had one disagreement about music, and it wasn't even a disagreement. I remember he rapped something, and I was just like, that ain't it. And he was like, nah, that's it. And I listened back to it, and I was like, okay, you're right. that was the whole disagreement.
How's that dynamic when, as a producer, you don't like something, but the artist do? Like, if it wasn't as simple as that.
Man, I typically just voice my opinion. I mean, at the end of the day, it's up to the artist. But I'll voice my opinion, and I'll be like, that ain't really.
But your name is going to be on it, so you won't be like, listen.
But at the end of the day, it's their song. I can't make them go in there and do what I want them to do. I can only, you know what I'm saying? So
I feel like you have more pull as a producer. Like, you should be able to be like, nah.
Everybody don't let go. There's some very difficult artists out here. There's a few sessions I've been in, and I was like, you know what? I'm leaving. I'm not coming back.
Okay, don't share their name, but share the story.
Oh, man. So, holy shit. Woo! This was a major artist. We were in Atlanta, and they came to the spot to work. And so we getting in the joint, we working, we're producing and co-writing the record. And the stuff that the artist is adding is just making the record not good. And then the session went from that to being like a therapy session of sorts. Like, this artist was just like we were over there like, bro, you need help. Like, it was so bad to the point, like,
when you say therapy, he was like venting, or he was just spazzing out?
It wasn't a he.
Oh, she was just,
it was so bad. It was so bad, like, when she left, I called her manager, and I was like, yo, that's never going to happen again. We're never working with this person again.
She was like crying and...
Nah, it was just so crazy. It was like to the point...
Like aggressive?
Nah, it was just all over the place. When she left, we all looked at each other, was like, man, I don't even want to work no more. Like, I did not make music for like 3 days because I was so depressed. I'm like, oh.
That's draining.
Yes, it was terrible. That was one. Who else have I? I've had a few horror stories where you just be like, I'm not going in there. Like,
so how do you handle it? Are you just creating boundaries to say this is not something I want in my life?
You just gotta be upfront about it. You gotta be very honest about it. Like, hey, look, I just can't work under these conditions. That's just not for me. I'm gonna go over here, and I'm fine with it.
Even as a person starting up, because I feel like when people first start out, they feel like they can't have boundaries because they still getting their name out there, so they'll just jump on anything and deal with anything.
I am notorious for turning stuff down. My team used to be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Trust me."
Saves you a lot of heartache in the end.
I talked us out of some crazy moves. I'm sorry, but what's crazy is it ultimately didn't pan out. So I was right. At the time, it didn't seem right, but you know, everything that I turned down worked how it was supposed to.
Because I guess because you don't want your name affiliated with certain things, right?
Nah, it's just, you know, more than anything, the energy. If it just ain't right, it ain't right. Like, you can't work with everybody. That's just it. It's really that simple. I might even like your music. I just can't work with you.
What if they offer you a lot of money? You like, hell nah.
All money ain't meant to be made.
See, because you're conscious though. But I feel like someone watching this who was like in the beginning stages is probably gonna be like, nah, I'm taking the bread. It's not that bad. I agree with you. I'm here with you. But I feel like there are people who would just like sacrifice their mental health for that.
Nah, you got to know who you are before getting into this stuff. You got to know what aligns with you and what aligns with your purpose. And you cannot be afraid to walk away what doesn't make sense for you. You just can't. There's been plenty of things that I left on the table. There's been plenty of opportunities that I said no to just because it did not work for me and my spirit. It just didn't fit. So I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm talking about huge opportunities.
I want to know them.
I can't, no. I might still be on NDA for a few of those things. You better not say what happened. Don't want to get sued.
So when you get Grammy nominated, I think you were nominated also for Rhapsody for her work, for her album.
I didn't get nominated. That sucks because we should. It's a great album.
Yeah, the Eve album. Because I was doing my little research and I'm like, why didn't this? That was like. That album. But I think it's. I think because of the theme of the album, you know, it's
just the climate that we in.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool. I get it.
So was Kanye's was that the album you said it got Grammy nominated? Was that the only your first and last one?
Yeah. That was it. It's not easy to get that accolade.
So I was asking because do you use that as a type of leverage point in conversation?
I used to. I mean, I keep it listed in my bio, but it's like,
does it help? Because I know, like, I ask this because you know how people are like angry with people getting snubbed at the Grammys, and I've seen people say, "Oh, people don't even need that anymore. That's not important." But I know, like, for the Oscars, the only reason why that's important for actors and actresses because I've actually seen in contracts you can argue a certain amount of money as your minimum for an Oscar, but I don't know if that works the same with Grammys.
You can definitely use it if you're smart, if you know how to play it. Yeah, it's definitely got me in some rooms. I mean, more people trust me, of course, because I'm affiliated with an accolade that all of us ultimately want as creatives.
Right.
Who doesn't want one? The fact that I got close, all right, we kind of trust this guy. He knows something. He was there. That's how they look at it.
Do you want to win a Grammy though? Like, is that a goal of yours?
If it happens, it happens. I used to be, but
you're not actively have it. That's what I'm saying. You're not actively like working towards it. You're just like doing your work with your passion about.
I'm just making great music, and I know the level of things and the quality of things that need to happen. So, yeah, I think subconsciously when you're not focusing on it, that's when it happens. When you're trying to do something, to quote Kanye, when you try hard is when you die hard. Like when you trying to do something so much, you're not gonna get it.
Yeah, you get burnt out as someone who's gonna do this now. I ain't gonna lie, I be trying to force things. I be like, Jim, you just sit your ass down or just let things
I was
happen.
like, hey, man, that's how I be. Even when I come in here, I'll be working on something. And if it just don't go good, I'm going home. All right, pack it all up. I might have only been in here 27 minutes. Like, all right, I'm gone. Like, what? You only went to the studio for 30 minutes, brother. It was not working. I'm gone.
Is there anything you wish artists would, I guess, how they approach producers, you wish they would change?
Respect us more, man. If we all stop working, it's just gonna be a bunch of acapellas, and don't nobody want to hear that. Respect the producers. Handle the business with the producers properly. Take care of the people that are the most important part of the music. Nowadays, people get into the actual music before they get into the lyrics of it all. Respect the producers. That's all. It's really that simple. And it doesn't take a lot to be respectful of us. Give us our just due. Handle business properly by us. Don't try to get over on us.
For someone who might not know what that means, explain what that looks like.
Don't be calling and don't be hitting producers and be like, yo, let me get a record for free.
Not even a DM?
You definitely don't DM me and ask me for no free beat. I will have a whole teachable moment on you right there. No, that's disrespectful. You're not gonna go to nobody else's job and expect for them to do their labor for free.
Exactly.
You're just not gonna do it. So yes, respect us the same way. Like if you're reaching out to us and that means you've heard something that intrigued you, that made you want to come over here, understand that this is my business. This is how I feed my family. This is how I take care of myself. So you're going to have to pay. You know what I'm saying? And even if you come in a respectful manner, there's so many ways to do it. Like you can come through and be like, hey man, what's your price? Tell you my price. Yeah, all right, cool. I had this happen. This was so cool. Like a young lady reached out. She was like, hey, I want to do a record. I've been following you. I'm a fan. How much would you charge me to do the record? Boom. I tell her my price. She's like, okay, I don't have that. And I was like, okay, I understand. You know what I'm saying? 3 months later, she popped back up and she was like, hey, I have what you requested to do the record.
What if you don't? Okay, so what if an artist reaches out to you? You just happen to look on their page. You like their stuff. You like, you know what? I like this person. They seem cool. You're not going to be like, I'll give them a discount, nothing?
We can possibly work something out, but it just, it has to make sense for me at the end of the day. Yeah. If it doesn't make any type of sense for me, then no. If you're going to take the record and get everything that you need to get from it, and I'm over here just saying, I produced the record for
this person. Even if they are up and coming.
What does it do for me?
Right.
That's just like you're not about to go into wait, hold on, who was it? Was it Kanye in the documentary where he was just like, you're not gonna go into the store and be like, yo, you should give me a TV because I watch TV better than anybody else. No. So don't come at me and be like, yo, I rap better than everybody. You should give me a free beat. I want to come up. Okay.
No.
You can't go into the store and be like, yo, let me get those Air Force Ones because I wear sneakers better than anybody. Nike gonna look at you like, so?
You know what's crazy? I know I've heard people actually move like that. Like, I'm talented. I shouldn't have to pay for that. I'm putting niggas on. It's just like,
it happens a lot.
Why y'all so comfortable asking people to work for free?
It happens a lot. We used to have a whole, like, my man Tracks, we used to have a whole hashtag, no free beats. We had t-shirts. We had, man, yes, we really had to go on a campaign like that. We used to try, like, we were rallying at one point to have a union to not work with anybody if you didn't want to handle business with us. And this went all the way up to record labels. We would be calling each other like, yo, if such and such label call you, don't give them nothing. Because they did me dirty. And the homies would stand on that. Like, yo, who? Nah, we not working with your label.
That's solid.
Nah, you do my people dirty, and I find out about it, I might overcharge you just so I can give them what they didn't get.
That's real shit. Some people just be like, I ain't got nothing to do with me.
We don't play that. No, you're not gonna get over on us, man. We gotta stick together because we're already overlooked and underappreciated. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're gonna stick together. I'm gonna rock with my folks.
Give me your top 5 best producers, people that you like.
Top 5 best producers? That's like the hardest question in the world. Actually,
you only got 5.
Top 5 greatest producers of all time, in my opinion?
Yes, in your opinion.
This is really not that hard.
You just said that's the hardest question in the world.
And then I had to slap myself because I just realized how easy it was. Quincy Jones. Mm-hmm. Bar none. Dr. Dre. Jay Dilla. Pharrell. Pharrell's is alien. And my 5th is a tie. I'm going to go.
Like you're struggling now.
No, my 5th is a tie. I'm going to go Kanye West and Organized Noise.
So you got to actually meet Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was pretty cool.
That's you blushing.
Nah, man, I mean, that's a milestone. Like I say, the only person above him, in my honest opinion, is Quincy Jones. Mm-hmm. Like, to be crazy, to be totally frank, like,
somebody said Timbaland not up there.
Nah, not in my top 5. Tim is in my 10. Tim is very special, but when it comes to my 5 are people that when I listen to their records, I'm so enamored to the point I'll be like, damn, I still can't figure that out. Timbaland is really close. Timbaland is really, really close to that space. But when I listen to Organized Noise and everything they did with Outkast and Goody Mob, that's a thing that can never be reduplicated. You're like, I'm still stumped that, like, how? And I've worked with them, and I'm sitting in the room with these guys, and I'm just like, what were y'all thinking? I don't get it. I don't understand it. The same with Dre. Like, I would hit him all the time and just ask him random questions. Like, what made you use that sound? Like, Quincy Jones, I mean, like, come on. It's Quincy Jones.
So you work with Quincy Jones?
No. If I work with Quincy Jones, I'm going to just unfollow everybody on Instagram except him, and I would not reply to anybody. Like, I would, that's the one time I would be Hollywood. It's 2 things. If I get to work with Quincy, and once I get my Jay-Z placement. I'm not talking to nobody. I am not talking to you regular people anymore.
That's just me, but I would love for you to have a Jay-Z placement.
I've been like, that's one of those things that's bucket list. That's the one thing I want to do.
All right,
if I didn't do anything else. Huh?
Top 5 artists.
Top 5 artists of all time?
Yes.
Any genre?
Any genre.
Any genre.
Any gender as well.
Now that's hard.
Yes, I'm making it hard. So I said Pharrell represents I can say somebody, my sis.
Yeah, Pharrell is just genius.
The distinct sound of the early 2000s.
I mean,
I didn't realize how much Pharrell was on.
I mean, even before that, like if you think back to, I mean, he wrote Teddy Riley's verse for Rump Shaker.
How old is Pharrell? Because he don't age.
Pharrell is 376 years old.
I swear to God, he's
a vampire. Top 5 artists of all time. Jesus Christ, this is tough. Marvin Gaye is number 1.
Are you doing it in order?
I'm gonna just put him as number 1. There's no order after that. This is like the hardest thing in the world to do, and this is like over. It'd have been easier if you'd have like.
Make it easy for you.
A little bit. Make it a little easier because that's hard.
Hey, I'm gonna say rappers then, like lyricists. Who you're talking about?
This is pretty easy.
Girls and boys.
This is pretty easy. I'm sorry, Dante. I gotta leave you out of this one. That's fine. That's my nigga. But I mean, we gonna go with. I mean, the 2 obvious picks are Big and Jay. Those are obvious.
I say Kanye and Jay. I was not expecting to hear Biggie from you, but okay.
No, Ye is not in my top 5 rappers. No, of course not. What? Are you crazy? No.
Really?
No, not in my top 5 rappers, not close. I ain't gonna say not close, but no.
Not even top 10?
He might sneak in there. He might sneak in the 10.
Wow.
I mean, you gotta understand, like, I am a child of hip hop. I grew up like with everybody. So my
I just thought I knew you. Sorry.
My 5 is crazy. Jay
Jay
is in my 5. Big is in my 5. Andre 3000 is in my 5. Scarface is in my 5. And my 5th spot is like, it's always a teeter-totter. Just for the sake of the argument, I'll give it to Nas.
Okay.
But
kind of
right after that, you got to worry about, there's Rakim. You got to worry about Common. You got to worry about Ice Cube. You know, KRS-One made my favorite hip-hop song of all time. So, you know.
Not you, it's the women. I gave him the option to name women. He ain't say.
My top 5, in my personal 5, no. The only reason no women are in my personal 5 is because my personal 5 are all artists that I relate to in a specific manner. When it comes to female rappers, while I can acknowledge and, you know, revere in their skill, a lot of their subject matter I just personally can't relate to. So that's why they're not in my personal top 5. Now, if we're going to go top 5 female rappers of all time, that's a whole nother thing. Because you got MC Light. Shout out MC Light. I actually just talked to her today. You got
don't put in there just because you talked to her today.
Nah. She's crazy. This is Light. Come on, cool out. You got MC Light. You gotta give it to Queen Latifah. Like, don't play with Queen Latifah. All right. I'm biased on this one, but I'm gonna put Rhapsody in there because she's just tough. Like, lyrically, I
feel like she's so underrated.
Lyrically, just tough. I am definitely giving up. Kim is going in my top 5.
Oh,
Kim is in my 5.
I swear to God, I was about to scream at you about it.
Kim is in my 5. Kim is in my 5. And I don't care if I get stoned for this one. Somebody said Lauryn Hill. No.
I don't consider Lauryn Hill a rapper.
No. And even the one album that she gave us was not a pure rap album.
I agree.
So I can't put Lauryn in my 5. She would probably be my 6th person, like honorable mention. But my 5th spot, I'm going to give that to Foxy.
Okay.
People sleep on Foxy.
We're here.
People sleep on
I was
Foxy.
in my head. I was like,
I'm going to give my 5th spot to
Foxy. I was like, I wonder if you're going to say Missy.
I'm going to give my 5th spot to Foxy. People sleep on Foxy. Missy is just a whole nother dynamic. She's a complete artist. She's 100%.
Someone wrote in the comments when you did pick Kanye in your top 5, they said they consider Kanye overall artist. That's why I consider Missy. I can't put her in the ratings. I'm like, she's like different. Yeah, she's
100%. She's an anomaly. So yeah.
What about Eve? You don't like Eve?
Eve was dope. Nah, Eve will probably make my 10. Eve was dope.
Okay. All right, I like your list.
Eve is definitely dope.
We here. Mm-hmm. I'm just annoyed you didn't say Tupac though in your top 5. You don't like Tupac?
Y'all don't want to get into that debate with me.
My feelings are hurt.
Now I'm gonna do this. And I'm gonna make it real easy for you. Simply put, Tupac has way more songs that I dislike than I like. Really that easy. It's really that simple for me. He has way more songs that I dislike than I like. Now, if you told me, and also we're talking about my personal opinion, I can't tell you the last time I actually pulled up my phone and went to Tidal and was like, yo, I'm about to rock some Tupac. I can't tell you the last time I did it. Now, if you told me that I can never listen to another Tupac album, I'd be fine. But
my heart.
But on the flip, if you told me I could never watch another Tupac interview, then we'd have a problem.
Okay.
I like what he stood for more than the music that he made.
I think that's why I like him. It makes me want to listen to his music.
Now, he has some songs that really resonate with the person that he was. And again, Tupac, and I can say this wholeheartedly, he has records that are greater than all of my favorite rappers' records. But I cannot put him up there because, yeah, you may have a few records that are greater than my top 5 records, but
whole piece of work, that's great.
More than that, the ratio. You got 77 albums. And out of those 77 albums, out of all of the songs I like, you might only get 1 true album. You might only get 14 pop records that I actually love versus all of the stuff that I didn't like. Now, the ones that I absolutely love, they up there. Keep your head up, dear mama. Holler when you hear me. Like, come on, he got some joints, but it just ain't a lot of them.
So I'm not gonna name my top 5, but Busta Rhymes is in my top 5, and I get clowned about it. I don't know why. I love Busta.
I put Busta where I put Missy. He's just something different. It's
Really?
just different.
I name him in my top 5, and people be like, I'm like, what you making that face for? We're not about to sleep on that man. Like, he's not talented.
Nah, Busta's special, but he's just different. Some people you just leave where they be at. You just
like, you don't need to
let that man go be. Let Busta Rhymes be Busta Rhymes. We've never seen anything so creative in rap. And that was ever since Leaders of the New School. So Busta has cemented his place in that.
Yeah. He did something in New York with the Carnegie Hall, and I wanted to go, but I saw it last minute, and them tickets was crazy.
Yeah, I saw Bus at the House of Blues in Chicago. That was wild. That was like one of the greatest shows I've ever seen in my life. And he performed for 2.5 hours, and after the show, I was still naming records. I was like, damn, he didn't do this, he didn't do that, he didn't do that. I was like, that's 15 more songs I wanted to see.
Busta's a true spitter.
Yeah, Bus is special. Bus is special. You can never take that away from him.
Okay, so we're coming to the end. One final question. Well, not a question. If you could share some advice to any upcoming producers who are watching this.
Be yourself. And that is it sounds like such an easy thing to do, but it is. I mean, we're in the industry of supply and demand. So whatever is working is what people are going to tap you for. Being yourself is hard to do in an industry of supply and demand because you have to stand there and go against everything else if it doesn't align with you, even when it's working. You still have to stand 10 toes down on being who you are. Now, the reason I say be yourself is I've had some great mentors in my life, and my mentors have given me so many gems along the way. One of the biggest gems I ever got in my life was one of my OGs told me, there's 1 million people in this world that want to meet you. They just don't know it yet. So with that being said, realizing that there's a lane and a space for everything, why would you deviate from who you truly are when there's people that need that thing that you do? Be yourself. Find your tribe. It might not be 2, 3, 4 million Instagram followers. It might be 50,000 people. But those 50,000 people will rock with you until the end of time. And you can sustain off of just that. Be yourself.
I love that. And don't force it.
No, just be you.
That's what you said. And describe yourself in 3 words.
Creative, creative, creative. No.
Not the dial-on.
Describe myself in 3 words. That is the hardest thing in the world for me to do because I have a very hard time talking about myself. I feel like
go ahead.
I'm creative. Spiritual. And I am. This is gonna sound so cliche, but it's so true. Blessed.
There's no right or wrong answer to this.
Those are the 3 words that I would use to describe myself.
I love that way. Every time I interview someone and I ask them to describe themselves in 3 words, everyone gets stumped. Like they'll have this whole story once they get to the end of the interview. It's like, describe yourself in 3 words. It's
so hard to talk about as a producer. I can talk about like music and everything else all day long, but if you ask me to talk about me, I'd be like, I'm gonna call you back. I'll get back to you on that.
But why is that? Is that part of you not being boastful about yourself? So you just kind of just...
I just, you know, I'm just who I am. You know, a lot of people, I don't know what it is that affects other people. I'm just me. So with that being said, the things that I do that this person loves, or the things that I do that that person loves, may be completely different things. So while I can sit here and be like, I'm funny, no, I'm not. I might not be funny to everybody. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to trying to find things that you just wholeheartedly know about yourself, like, man, yes, I know I'm creative. That's something I've always been my whole life. Like, it's not hard to tell that.
Right.
I'm very much spiritual. This is my inward being, and, you know, blessed. Yeah, like, look at what I'm able to talk about on this platform. That's something that you got to be blessed to do. Like, you don't just get to do that.
Somebody in the beginning was like, he just casually dropped Kanye's name like it was nothing.
I didn't even want to say it. Like, I have a hard time doing that. And I'm looking at the record over here, and I'll still be like, just a battle talking about yourself to that degree. Like, man, look, that stuff I did is great, but that doesn't make me who I am. That's probably why it's hard to do that. I just see how the world is, and everybody's like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, and I'm that. And I'm just like, cool. Like, okay. Cool.
But you're different that without having to say it.
Yeah, like, man, look,
but
whatever you feel like I am, I appreciate it. That's how I take it. No, that's seriously how I take it. I let my people talk for me. I let my work talk for me. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you for donating your session time. Sorry, Dante.
We about to get to work now.
I appreciate you. I thank you, and I can't wait to see this Jay-Z placement. We're manifesting it.
It's coming.
Thank you so much, and have a good night.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Peace.